Greetings everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope today finds you doing well. Y'all been asking about casting circle. I've been trying to figure out a way to get everything set up to where I could actually walk through it, and I just don't really quite have the room in here or the lighting, I don't think, so that you could see me well. So I'm going to try my best to explain it here. Okay, so I didn't bring out my God and Goddess candles, the full altar setup. I have a video on that, so you can go look at that as far as for your whole altar setup. Here I'm just going to try to, take you through the steps as best I can in this setting, okay? So basically you'll have your God and Goddess candles, or just, a white candle if that's, all that you've got. I usually use a white for the Goddess, a black for the God, okay? So, but it's up to you on how you want to do that, and depending on what path or tradition you follow, okay? So, starting here, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to set up your altar, okay? Now, as a general rule, the altar is on the northernmost wall. Some people like to set it up in the center. That's up to you, okay? For me, I've always had my cauldron in the center, but that's my choice, all right? So you do what works best for you and what you're comfortable with. If you're there by yourself, it doesn't really matter however you want to do it, the north or the center. But, the way I'm going to teach you is dealing with your altar on your northern wall, okay? And, you have everything set up, your candles, make sure that you have your, athame, or wand if you're using that. If you're out in nature, you're going to need to use a wand instead of a blade, because a lot of places, parks and things are not allowed. Okay, I think I've covered some of this before. Anyway, you're going to make sure that you have your censer, your incense holder, your incense, your bowl of water, and your salt. I use sandalwood for this because nasty things don't like sandalwood. They don't like sea salt. So naturally, that's what I use to cleanse and create a protective circle. Okay. So you have everything set up. If you're using a God and Goddess candle, usually light the Goddess first, then the God, and you'll actually put them out in the opposite. But we'll get to that after the other part. So, I like to have everything ready. So I will go ahead and take my salt. You're going to put 3 pinches of it in your water, okay? And then get your incense burning in your censer, all right? Or you can do it when you get to that step. I just like to have it all already going and ready. It helps to kind of set the atmosphere as well, okay? So once you're ready, breathe, okay? Center yourself, leaving the mundane world outside of your sacred space. This is very important, okay? So we take our athame, all right? And in the tradition that I follow, you can do it however you like, but we start in the northern corner, okay? Because that's also where your door would be if you need to let people in or out, okay? But you start, okay, and I like to connect with my athame, all right, before I ever get started. All right, make sure that as you walk to this space, you're holding it up here, otherwise you're cutting things, okay? And then you're going to point this, all right, I'm going to point it up here for now just so you can kind of see, but you're pointing it down at the floor, okay? And as you walk diasil or clockwise, you are pointing your blade down at the floor. You can envision whatever type of energy coming out of it, flames, Blu-ray, whatever, okay, whatever type of circle you're casting, all right? But you can do a chant as you do it, or you can simply focus the energy, but you're going to go all the way around, and when you get back to your point here, go cross wherever you started, bring your blade up, walk back to your altar, and place your blade back on your altar, okay? We have now cut our circle. Make sure that you bring it back up before you walk back, or you're opening up a door, okay? So now we're going to take our bowl of water that has our salt in it. We're going to stir, and you want your breath to go across the top of the water, okay? You're empowering this. You can use whatever chant you want that deals with earth and water, okay? In my cleansing stuff and different things, I taught you chants. So you can use those chants, or you can use, your own, all right? But you want, as you say it, your breath to go across that water, okay? You know, a simple one that I teach people all the time, so it's the same for both, just changing the elements, and it makes it easy, but it's just salt and water I conjure thee, that there remain within this frame no adverse thought nor enmity. Hear my will addressed to thee, and as my will, so mote it be. Okay? So now, starting right in front of your altar here in the north, step back, and you're going to start sprinkling. Okay? You sprinkle the water, and you're going to repeat your chant all the way around Deosil, clockwise, till you get back to your north. Okay? Preferably, you want to do the chant at least 3 times. If you've got a very small space, then make sure you complete it at least once, you know, even if you're finishing it up as you get back here. Walk at a pace that is according to your circle size. Okay? If you've got a big circle, you may be doing it more than 3 times. You may want to walk a little faster so you don't run out of breath. If you've got a small space, walk slower, you know, and so that you can do your chant. Okay? Get back to your altar, you place this down. We're now going to take our censer that we've already got our incense burning in. It should be billowing out smoke. If not, take your matchstick and kind of gently stir it if you're using the powdered incense like I do. Now, look off to the side. Take your deep breath. You don't want to do it here. You're going to choke, okay? I explained this in the cleansing one. So take your breath, and you want your breath to gently go through the smoke, okay? Now you're empowering this. You can do the same chant we did with this. It's just change it to fire and air, okay? So you let this go through. Now, you're going to, because with the cauldron, it makes it so much better because you've got smoke going everywhere. You start giving a little circle as you walk around your circle, repeating your chant. Okay, so we cleanse. Now we're consecrate. We cut, cleanse, consecrate. Okay, get back. You place it here. So now, after we have cut, cleansed, and consecrated, we're going to call in our quarters. All right. So the way that we do it, we start in the east. All right. So you're going to walk around to your east, going clockwise, and your hands go up, and you call whoever you're calling, okay? Whether you're calling dragons or archangels or, whoever that you're calling as your protectors for these quarters, your guardian watchtowers of that quarter, okay? You call them, hail and welcome, okay? Then you walk to the south, same thing, the west, and then come back to your north, call that one. Now you are ready to do your work. Okay, whatever you're in circle for, are you meditating? Are you doing a spell? Is it a new moon, a full moon, a Sabbath? Whatever it is, okay, now is the time that you do this. And, once you have completed all your work, if you're having wine and cakes, then you do, you bless them, you do this, and you're pretty much done, And so you now are going to go back and dismiss your quarters. So you're going to go back to your east, and you're going to thank whoever, and, you're going to dismiss them. Go back, to your lovely room, whatever, whoever you are, hail and farewell. You do this at each quarter, okay? And when you get back to the north, you're done, You can, if you have other people there, merry meet, merry part, merry meet again, okay? So this is your basics for doing a circle. If you're calling on deities, to come in, you do that after you call in your quarters, okay? Some people dismiss, they thank the deities and they, send them on their way. Some leave them because they're going to leave when they're ready anyway. That is entirely your choice. If you're calling on something like dragons, make sure you know how to properly call them and that you actually work with them, or don't do it. Okay? It's not a smart thing to do to call on dragons if you don't know which ones work at which quarters and don't know how to properly call them and don't work with them because, as my husband says, you are crunchy and good with ketchup, and sometimes they bring the hot sauce instead. Okay? So, hey, that's the thing. All right, so now there are some people that take down the circle Widdershins. I don't. you know, there are only certain circles that's, you know, really called for, but on a general thing, it's really not. If you're out in public, it's a good idea to sweep the space afterwards, you know, to remove any residual energy from you and whoever was there and the circle that you cast. If you have your own private space, there is no reason whatsoever to do that. Okay? So, anyway, this is just a quick, basic how to cast a circle. Okay? Is my way the only way? No, it's not. Is my way a safe way and a proper way? Yes, it is. Okay? But you have to judge for yourself on what works best for you. Okay? But that's pretty much the basic, you know, circle casting. There are different things that can be added and stuff like that, depending on what you're doing, you know, your altar setup, you know, who you're calling, all of that is individual and depends on what you want and what works best for you. But this is your basic recipe for casting a circle and gives you something to build on to, you know, make things better for you, okay? So anyway, I hope this helps you. Have any questions, anything, any comments, please leave them in the comment section. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I appreciate all of y'all supporting me on my channel. And until the next one, hey, everyone have a great day. Blessed be.